So, the first speaker for the day. I was debating whether or not I should read their whole bios. Their bios are in the programs. And they're impressive bios. I encourage you to take the time to read them. I'm not going to read the entire thing, just maybe some snippets. But our first speaker today, Kelli Edwards, she is a school counselor at Conotton Valley Schools, and she has been employed in that school system since 2010. She actually changed career paths, which is what she's going to talk about. She's a 2005 graduate of Leadership Tuscaroras, active member of the Indian Valley Foundation, and in her free time, she likes to spend time with her adult children and helping her husband on their 78-acre tree farm, which that seems cool to me. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Kelli Edwards.
Good morning, leaders. I've got my cheat sheets with me today. Well, he just told you my bio, and I think that was pretty much my first whole slide, but I have 3 college degrees. I'm not bragging about those degrees because whenever I was your age sitting in those seats, I didn't want to go to college. I didn't think. I have a master's in education from Malone, and if you would have told me whenever I was 17 years old I was going to go to school for 7 years, I would have told you were crazy. I started out going to my guidance counselor. Back in the day, we were called guidance counselors. Now we're school counselors, and do things a little bit differently. I went to my guidance counselor and said, I want to go to college and do interior design. I love that stuff. He said, you'll have to go away. The closest place that offers that is Cincinnati. Maybe that was true at the time. Didn't want to leave my mom, so we didn't even discuss it anymore. So, go back again. I said, I want to do something more than just get a job, because that's what my friends were starting to do. They were either over at Buckeye Joint Vocational School at the time it was called, and they were working towards a career. I wanted something different, had not a clue what it was, and unlike you that get to experience these things now through CCP, through all of the college and career surveys that you take, standardized tests tell you what you're good at. We didn't have that option. We took the ACT, we took some type of survey that either put us in the military or didn't, and we took a test to make sure we were smart enough to graduate our 9th grade year. That was it. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. You know what my guidance counselor told me? You're a little bit above average student. You're a pretty girl. Find a husband. That was his advice to me. Well, I'm an overachiever because I found 2. So, what I ended up doing, prior to getting my master's degree, out of high school, I went and visited a friend. Graduated high school working retail, went and visited a friend from high school who was going to ATI in Worcester. That is the agricultural school for Ohio State. I was the president of the FFA. I was a 4-year member of the FFA. In fact, I was the queen of the FFA my senior year. Still had the tiara. Nobody told me this college existed. I wanted to go to the Joint Vocational School for floriculture because we did the tour like you guys do. We went up one year and, this is what I want to do. No, you're a good student, you can't go there. Because at that time, it had that reputation. They have done so much in those programs over there. That is now where I wish I would have had the experience that I paid for to go to Ohio State. So anyway, I go visit my friend, find this program, started in January after I had graduated high school. 2 majors in 2.5 years, floral design and marketing, and greenhouse production. I loved it. That was my passion. at that time. Wanting to do interior design, obviously I have that creative mindset. This was for me. So I owned and operated a floral business for 13 years. That helped support my family, gave me that creative outlet, let me help people, and I didn't realize that the helping people was what I was most passionate about. I like this stuff, this is beautiful, and I can do this anytime I want to, but it was the helping people. Helping people through troubling times, or whenever they messed up and did not get flowers for their wife's birthday or anniversary. So life changed for me in 2005. I remarried and gained a 16-year-old bonus child who was an athlete. My children were younger, growing up, starting to get involved in some things. And I realized working 7 days a week in a floral shop, not always, but most weeks, 7 days a week, this isn't real conducive for my family. But obviously I can't just quit my job and stay home with my kids because we relied on my income. Had a lot of teachers that worked for me through the years, some who were retired, some who maybe just needed that extra income through the summertime or on the weekends. And talking with them, I thought, you know, the lifestyle they have, the hours that they are afforded to work, and how they can spend time with their families, that kind of fits into what I want to do. In the same time frame, we had a neighbor move in down the street who had a child who was disabled. And he inspired me every time I talked with him. You never knew what he was going to say, and he was happy all the time. And I thought, you know what? I want to champion for the underdog. This is what I want to do. I think this is my new passion. So I go to the Indian Valley Board office where I had a friend in curriculum, and I said, look, Janice, I want to go back to school, but I'm too old. What do? I want to teach special ed. She said, no, you don't. You don't want to teach special ed. You want to be a guidance counselor. What you're describing to me is what they do. You want to help people through some struggles. You want to show them that they can do what they need to do. Of course, I reflected back on my experience with my guidance counselor, and I sure didn't want to do that for kids. And I didn't know how to drive a bus. He was a bus driver, and I thought that's kind of what what you do. So that was not for me. But I found out it was. So in the time that I had to complete my bachelor's degree, convert my associates to my bachelor's, and go on to a master's to be able to do what I'm doing now, took me about 3.5 years because I had enough credits from Ohio State that transferred to Bowling Green to finish my bachelor's, and then on to Malone to work on my master's. And while it doesn't make sense that I didn't have enough time with my family, and now here I am taking on more classes, I was able to finish my bachelor's online. So there were many nights that I didn't get a lot of sleep, and there were many days I wasn't a very pleasant person. But I was able to do it around my students, my children's activities. So that allowed me to finish that degree and get the lifestyle that I wanted, that time with my family. "24 hours in every day. We all have it. I hear kids tell me so many times, Mrs. Edwards, I want to be this, but I don't want to go to school for 4 years. Do you know how much time that's going to take? It's going to take 4 years. That's what you want to do, and it requires a degree. It's going to be 4 years. If you want to drive heavy equipment for a living, you don't have to go to college for that, but you have to get some training. And it's going to take the time to get the training before they're going to put you on a multi-thousand-dollar piece of equipment. You have to take the time. You have to know what your passion is first. I have a lot of students, I just took my 8th graders to the Career Center on Wednesday, and I have a lot of kids that say, I'm not going there. And that's fine, you don't have to go there. But you have to know what you don't want to do. You have to eliminate some of those options. But you can only do that by having that experience. If you go to the Career Center for 1 year and you find out that that is not your gig, it's okay. It's 1 year. You've gained some experience. You have gained some knowledge of what you don't want to do. If you come to Kent and do CCP and find out college isn't for you, you still know what you don't want to do. If your homeschool has a Project Lead the Way course, you may think, I can't do that, I'm not good at math. But boy, that little robot car that goes up and down the hallways, that's pretty cool. Try it. It's only going to be a semester or 1 year of your life that you're trying it. It's experiences that you gain that lead you on your path. It's amazing how much we accomplish when we put our screens down. I know there's a program next week that my counseling group is doing, and it's about screen time. We all check out. I'm guilty of it. I go into work, first thing I do is check my email to see who needs what. 45 minutes later, I'm able to go and talk to my kids. It's amazing how much time we waste every day. And I say waste because if it's not human interaction of some sort, it is a waste of time. You can find that time, the time that you need in your day to do what it is that you want to do tomorrow. This was originally made to thank you. To thank you for being very patient while I came up here and mumbled my words. But it has a different meaning today. There are leaders in this group right now that may not realize the impact that you have. 2.5 weeks ago, in my school district, we had the worst thing imaginable happen. We had a tragic accident and lost one of our students that is truly a bright and shining light. And he's probably up there right now laughing at the fact I'm trying not to cry about him. You, students, rallied around us as a community. Started at TCC. Day after the accident, it was on social media. TCC wear green. The money collected was divided between these families. And I'm going to tell you, it popcorned. Not only all over Tuscarawas County, Harrison County, Carroll County, it went almost statewide. There were leaders, not administrators, there were leaders in the student body that felt passionate about helping somebody that really needed it. So for that, that's thank you to you. I really appreciate everything you've done for our community, and if you take nothing away, know you've got 24 hours in every day. If it's something you want to do, find a way to do it. Do your research. Talk to the experts. Trust me, I'm not that smart. I'm old. And if I can find a way to do it, and if I can find a way to make a difference in one life, it was well worth it on my journey. Thank you.